Hello, welcome to Parent Preview Night. I'm Tracy Glidden, the Coordinator of Student Recruitment here at Eastern Florida State College. Thank you for joining me for this virtual presentation. Presenting with me tonight is Frank Margiotta, Associate Provost of the Advanced Manufacturing Program. We also have Sarah Minkowski, Academic Advisor, and Connor Stabe, Recruitment Specialist, in the chat to help answer your questions at the end of the presentation. I also have on standby Ms. Lynn Demetriadis, our dual enrollment coordinator here at Eastern Florida State College. Before we get started, I want to cover a few details to make it easier for you to participate. Since this is a live stream, I will not be able to see or hear you, but I do want this to be an interactive session. So please use the Q&A section to post your questions. I will read and answer as many as I can at the end of the presentation. I also want to direct you to some resource links that will be available to you in the Q&A section. You will find links to the Florida Department of Education comparison chart, our dual enrollment brochure, details on advanced standing credit, and a few other useful resources as we go through the presentation. So let's get started. We have created this information session for parents who are interested in learning about the pathways offered at Eastern Florida State College, so they can decide which is the best option for their student. At Eastern Florida, there are different choices available for students who want to dual enroll. We offer regular dual enrollment, early admission, collegiate high, career and technical programs, and advanced standing credit. All of these options will be covered here today. So what do you already know about these pathways to earn college credit while students are in high school? Hopefully you've heard that all of these options are free, including the books for dual enrollment students, and that the credits they earn in these different programs can count in both high school and college. That's why we have the dual in dual enrollment and advanced credit. We also are going to cover each one of these options separately in detail throughout this presentation. Before we move on, I always like to share my own personal story with dual enrollment. So bear with me just a moment while I share. When I started working at the college in 2009, my oldest son was a senior in high school, and I was working with the advising department part-time, and I learned about this really cool thing called dual enrollment. And I came home and I said, hey, did you know that you can earn college credit while you're in high school for free? And my son was like, yeah, Mom, I've known about that. A couple of my friends are graduating with their AA degree. And I couldn't help but be a little bit frustrated because I didn't know about this and I missed the boat. And so here we are years later, and he's graduated and moved on. But I want to make sure that you guys don't miss out on the opportunity. So that's why we start early in 8th grade, learning a little bit about dual enrollment and how to get started, and then the other options that are available as your student moves on through high school. All right, everyone loves numbers, right? So here are some interesting numbers related specifically to dual enrollment at Eastern Florida State College. 442 is the number of 2020 Brevard County students who earned their Associate of Arts degree upon high school graduation. Give you all the numbers. 2.8 million is approximately the amount of in-state tuition that was saved by the parents of those 442 students for 2 years worth of college. Here's the math. 60 credit hours times $104 per credit hour in-state tuition times 442 students equals just under 2.8 million, $2,758,080 to be exact, just for tuition. 3,477 is the number of currently enrolled dual enrollment students we have so far this year, which is pretty great considering we're in the middle of a pandemic. $21,430 is the estimated cost of tuition and expenses for the freshman year at the University of Florida. This is according to the UF website from the 2019-2020 school year, the estimated cost for just freshman year at the University of Florida. Even if your student attends Eastern Florida after graduating high school and doesn't do dual enrollment, their in-state cost for 2 years, 60 credits is only $6,240, which is actually even less than the first year tuition and fees at UF. Of course, with dual enrollment, your student could get up to 60 credit hours for less than both of these options, free. On the topic of college expenses, here are some things to think about. Do you already have some type of college fund prepared for your student? If so, how much of their education will it cover? If you have Florida Prepaid or some other type of education savings account with dual enrollment, depending on the guidelines for use, you could save that money for your student to use to finish a bachelor's degree and possibly some graduate school. After high school graduation, there are other options available to pay for college, financial aid, Bright Futures, and other types of scholarships. Hopefully, your student will not need student loans. But remember, taking dual enrollment classes for free or CTE classes in high school can lessen your need for any of these financial options. All right, it's not too soon to begin planning for dual enrollment. Students are getting a jump start on things in middle school too. Many are taking high school level courses in middle school and college courses in high school. So those high school courses will show up on their high school transcript. In 8th grade, students can get prepared for dual enrollment by maintaining a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and knowing their FSA and end of course tests can affect what they will be able to take in the 9th grade. For the advanced standing credit option, use the chart that Connor linked in the chat to determine which programs are offered at your student's future high school. He's going to add it again now. Thank you, Connor. Once your student is in 9th grade, they're encouraged to take honors classes. The rigor of these classes will get them prepared for the FERT test. In order to gain eligibility, they must score as college ready in reading and writing. They should consider completing their high school online course and HOPE requirements. And if they're interested in collegiate, they must also score college ready in math. Collegiate High is the dual enrollment option that's designed for students who want to graduate high school with their Associate of Arts degree. Students who are eligible for collegiate are typically invited to an information session in January of their 9th grade year. Another important topic, FERPA. I usually ask in-person sessions if anyone happens to know what FERPA stands for, but since you guys are not here with me, I'm just going to give you the answer this time. It means the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. This refers to the privacy of your student's academic record here at the college. Even though they're underage and you're their parent, the college cannot release any information to you about your student's academic record without their written consent. At the high school, if you want to find out about your student's grades or your attendance, you can just call the school. But here, in order to learn that information, your student has to have what we call a FERPA form on file. And this form gives specific instruction on what can be released to you, what information can be released to you. So you simply can't gain that info on the phone. You actually have to come in and show a photo ID to verify that you're who you say you are. All right, other things to keep in mind with the college level. Courses are developed for adult learners. There are students of all ages in these classes, so discussions are not censored, and coursework is not modified to the high school level. After all, if your student tested as college ready and started dual enrollment here, they're considered to be ready for the content. The level of difficulty is designed to standards of high school completion. Students should plan for at least 2 hours of study per week for each hour in class. Our Eastern Florida calendar does not always match up with Brevard schools. There are several holidays and teacher work days when students are off at the high school, but they're still expected to be present for their college classes. So how does it compare? There are many options for high school students to earn college credit. You can see here that the weighted GPA and university core academic areas are the same for dual enrollment, IB, ACE, and AP courses. You can review the two-page comparison chart from the Florida Department of Education by clicking the link in the chat. This chart shows a side-by-side comparison of all the different options, so you can make an educated decision on the best one for your student. In regular dual enrollment, once eligibility is met, students may take up to 3 courses per semester. Courses count for both high school and college credit. Every class taken is a head start for your student, and money saved on college tuition. Early admission is the option for students who wish to attend full-time at EFSC in their senior year. Students in early admission do not take any classes at the high school, but they are still able to participate in the extracurricular activities. There's a special application for early admission, and students must have a GPA of 3.0 or higher with college-ready reading, writing, and math scores. Early admitted students take at least 4 classes each semester with a total of 12 or more credit hours. Collegiate high school is the option for students who wish to graduate high school with their Associate of Arts degree. It typically begins in their 10th grade year and requires a 3.0 minimum GPA. Students must test college ready on the PERT for reading, writing, and math. They have a special application process and a separate mandatory orientation. So if you think dual enrollment is the right path for your student, here are the steps. Step 1, talk to your student. Know your student best. You know your student best. You know their maturity, their study skills. So make sure that you decide together if this is the best option for them. Incidentally, even though I was disappointed that my son didn't take advantage of dual enrollment courses, I'm actually, when I look back honestly at him as a student, he probably wasn't ready for college courses at that time, and it wouldn't have been the best option for him. He actually ended up taking one of our limited access programs and went into the firefighter EMT program here at Eastern Florida. So the academic dual enrollment route just wasn't the best for them. And I think it's important to note too, it's great that it's free. It's great that this is an opportunity for students to take college classes when they're in high school, but you shouldn't just do it because it's free. Definitely talk to your student. Make sure it's something they want to do. We all know as parents, if we have our student do something they don't want to do, they're not going to do their best at it. And it's really important that they do their best at it because this is going to be on their permanent college record. Step 2, have your student meet with their guidance counselor before applying. The counselor will play a very important role in helping you and your student decide. If you are homeschooling your student, you are their guidance counselor. Step 3, after meeting with the counselor, have your student complete the online application. Go to easternflorida.edu/go/apply and create a new account to begin the application process. Step 4, after the application has been processed, your student will receive an acceptance letter with instructions on accessing an online mandatory orientation, which this is not. I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. Schedule and take the PERT test. Remember to click the link in the Q&A to access information on testing options. If your student has taken the SAT or ACT within the last 2 years, these scores can be used for placement. Step 6, meet again with the high school counselor to complete the registration form. The classes chosen need to fit the high school schedule, and the counselor will help guide you. The registration form must be signed by the parent, the counselor, the student, and the principal, and you will have your student upload the signed form to their student Dropbox to submit it to advising. And finally, make an appointment with your academic advisor at Eastern Florida to register for classes. Many of these appointments are done virtually right now. All right, so now let's dive into the career and technical programs option within dual enrollment and outside of dual enrollment with advanced standing credit. National studies show that 8 out of 10 jobs now require training beyond high school, but not necessarily a 4-year degree. The primary perception of dual enrollment is that it's exclusively designed for students who intend to transfer to university upon graduation, but that is not the only pathway for earning accelerated college credit during high school. Our career and technical associate and certificate programs range from 1 semester term to 1 or 2 years in length. In most programs, industry certifications are built into our certificate programs, and the certificate program credits can be applied toward earning an associate's degree. Some of these programs are limited access, so be sure to have your student discuss these options with their advisor if they're interested. Outside of dual enrollment, advanced standing credit is another great pathway for high school students. This might be considered one of the best kept secrets. Simply put, Brevard high schools have career and technical education, or CTE courses, available at their school, which can be credited towards college after a student has completed high school and enrolled in a CTE program at Eastern Florida. Let's watch a quick video for an easy breakdown, and then we'll hear from Frank Margiotta, who will tell us a little bit more about how this works.
Get a jump start on your career while still in high school with advanced standing credit at Eastern Florida State College. What is advanced standing credit? It's a pathway towards earning college credit while still in high school. Students can earn free college credit after high school for taking certain combinations of qualified courses in high school and college. Here's how it works. First, Brevard Public School students should enroll in eligible career and technical education coursework at their high school. This coursework varies by school and may include subjects such as accounting, manufacturing, education, and more. Check with your school counselor on which programs are available and interest you. Next, make the grade. Complete all of the required high school courses. Be sure to earn the grade required. Here comes the most important part. Graduate high school. Yay! After high school, enroll at EFSC and complete the college courses outlined in your program's agreement. Grades matter here too. Once all conditions are met, request credit from the registrar's office. Once approved, bam! The bonus courses get added to your transcript. It's like you took the classes without stepping foot in the classroom. Depending on the program, bonus credits can range from 3 to over 20 credit hours, saving you hundreds or even thousands of dollars and time. Put yourself on the fast track to your career by enrolling in career and technical education today. To learn more about advanced standing credit, including the process, eligible programs, and more, visit easternflorida.edu/go/jumpstart.
Good evening. My name is Frank Margiotta, and I serve as Associate Provost of Advanced Manufacturing at EFSC. I'm glad to have the opportunity to share with you some additional information about alternative options to dual enrollment, where your student can earn college credit while still in high school. Just as with dual enrollment, these alternative pathways can help to avoid or minimize college debt. Career and technical programs are designed to be completed in 6 months to 2 years and prepare students to enter the workplace more quickly. Choosing a specific program does not limit you to a single career path, but rather opens the door for multiple opportunities. Career and technical programs give you the skills needed to get your foot in the door and prove your value to an employer. Most large organizations have multiple occupations and opportunities for advancement. Additionally, how many young people want to start their own business? What better way than to acquire a skill set, learn from a successful owner or organization, and then go to work for yourself? Furthermore, career and technical programs at EFSC are designed to allow individuals to advance their academic goals by providing stackable credentials. The Associate in Science and related college credit certificates are designed to meet workforce needs in high-skill positions requiring post-secondary training beyond high school, leading to high-wage jobs paying above the median wage in demand occupations where employers are actively seeking qualified individuals. Two options to earn accelerated credit while still in high school, other than dual enrollment, include advanced standing credit and industry recognized certifications. Advanced standing credit allows students to receive credit for select high school courses to be applied toward related EFSC programs. A list of BPS career and technical education programs that have advanced standing credit agreements with EFSC can be found on our website. Between 3 and 20 credits may be awarded to students who complete these BPS programs or courses. These BPS programs can begin as early as the 9th grade. Many EFSC career and technical programs recognize industry certifications as a way to validate the skills or knowledge a student possesses. Between 3 and 15 credits may be awarded based on the specific industry certification earned while in high school. Industry certifications are also a great way to enhance your resume and assure a potential employer of your capabilities. Restrictions do apply for each of these options, so please be familiar with the pathway your student selects. Most programs awarding credit for advanced standing or industry certifications require enrollment at EFSC within 3 years of high school graduation. There's little disagreement that education and training beyond high school is required to be competitive in the modern workplace, but not necessarily a 4-year degree. Post-secondary education at all levels leads to greater earning potential, more stable employment, stable housing, reliable transportation, and access to health care and other benefits. These are all indicators of greater prosperity and potentially longer lifespan, something we want to see for all of our children. The grass is not always greener on the other side. The Brevard economy is sizzling and there are plenty of good jobs right here at home. Brevard's unemployment rate is 4.2%, less than the state of Florida at 4.7% and significantly less than the national unemployment rate of 6.3%. Furthermore, the Milken Institute recently ranked Palm Bay, Melbourne, Titusville metropolitan statistical area as number 2 in the nation, behind Provo, Ogden, Utah, and Austin, Round Rock, Texas. The ranking is based on a region's ability to develop and sustain quality jobs, which leads to a quality lifestyle. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you'd like more information about how BPS career and technical programs transition to Eastern Florida State College. An educated workforce is truly the foundation of a strong economy. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have found this information helpful.
Thank you, Frank. Be sure to stay for the Q&A at the end of this presentation, and Frank will be here to answer any questions that you have about these programs. At Eastern Florida, we really do want to see your students succeed in their college education whenever they decide to start. All students, including dual enrolled students, have access to all the success resources just like any other student at Eastern Florida State College. Free tutoring, workshops, volunteer service learning opportunities, access to sale accommodations, and our awesome career center are just a few of the great resources that we have. Each of our 4 campuses has a career planning and development center available for all our students, including the dual enrolled students. This is a great place for students who are undecided about which program they want to take, or for current students and graduates to learn about job opportunities and learn career building soft skills. Students can participate in assessments to help them explore potential career fields, as well as job-related career services like interview prep and resume review. Finally, the most important step in this entire process is to encourage and support your student towards success no matter which path they choose. Before we get to the questions from the chat, I want to share this contact information with you. If you have further questions after the presentation about dual enrollment, contact Lynn Demetriadis. If you have further questions about advanced standing credit, contact Frank Margiotta. I'll leave this slide here for just a moment if you want to screenshot it or write the numbers down. We can also add them to the chat later too if you need some help there. Thanks for joining us. I hope you've gained a better understanding of the different pathways your student can earn college credit at Eastern Florida. We're now going to answer some questions from the chat. If you haven't already, please post your questions, and we're going to answer as many of them as we can between now and 7:30. A recording of this session will be uploaded to our Eastern Florida YouTube channel within the next few days, so feel free to rewatch it or share it when it is posted. All right, let's get to the questions in the chat. All right, the first question, actually, I think, Frank, you can help me answer this one if you want to go ahead and be on screen with me, that would be great. Question is, the Police Academy considered a CTE program? And you want to unmute and answer.
Okay, yeah. We do have, the Police Academy is considered a CTE program, and students who enroll in the Criminal Justice Operations program at BPS can get credit up to 12 credits within our Criminal Justice Operations AS degree.
Great, thank you. So the Police Academy at your school, if you offer it at your school, not the Police Academy, but the criminal justice classes, and then you come here and you enroll in our criminal justice program or one of our criminal justice programs, then the advanced standing credit option would work. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, great. All right, and another one, someone has an Adobe certificate. Does that count as the industry certification?
Currently, we don't recognize the Adobe certificate in our digital media program, but that is something we can look into, and I'll make a note of that.
All right, is the advanced standing credit the same as advanced placement? I don't believe so. AP classes are like the honors classes. Those are college credit classes. No, so advanced standing credit is a little different than that. So advanced placement are classes, honors classes you're taking that actually, as soon as you begin taking classes at Eastern Florida State College, you can send your scores from your AP, from your advanced placement, and those will come onto your college record. So I guess it does kind of work in a similar way because you're taking the classes at the high school, but it's not under the same advanced standing credit option. It's not one of the career and technical programs. Those are typically advanced placement classes are academic classes. All right. Please provide the email address again for the student to complete the online. Oh, the website address is easternflorida.edu/go/apply, or you can go to the main webpage, easternflorida.edu, and you'll see a great big green button that says apply. So that will work for that. Okay. All right, Lynn, I might need you to jump on for some help here. If you're able to. I heard there were some proposed changes to Florida Bright Future scholarships that dual enrolled students will not be eligible. Can you please shed some light on this? Do you know anything about that, Miss Lynn?
I know that, can you hear me?
Yes.
I know that there has been discussion in the legislature about alterations to the Bright Futures. I think there was a general rebellion and uprising across the state of Florida by families and students about changing certain elements of Bright Futures. One of the elements that they were looking at changing for dual enrollment, and it's my understanding that they backed off from this, but I'm not 100% sure because it changes daily in Tallahassee. But at this point, when students complete college credit through dual enrollment, that just goes along to their college. They were going to start subtracting the funds and the credit, the tuition from the Bright Futures for students while they were in dual enrollment, which would have had a significant impact on Bright Futures, but I think they backed off from that. So this is a good thing. It looks like generally the Bright Futures is going to stay in its current status, but I think parents are well advised to check because things can change on a daily basis, and it's important that they let their legislators know exactly how they feel about it. The dual enrollment program has been hugely successful for students, and it's enabled students to complete their AA degree. Many students finish just 1 year, but it's still an important step forward, and they have that money that they haven't used from their Bright Futures available to them for when they go on to the university.
Great, thank you, Lynn. So bottom line is definitely check into the website, the legislative issues, maybe the Florida Department of Education. If you search for Bright Futures on there, I think the most up-to-date information, FLDOE.org should be where you go for the most up-to-date information for Florida Department of Education website. All right, the next question, what grade level can students in high school start dual enrollment? Typically, students can start the summer before 10th grade, but most start in 10th grade. You can start in 11th grade. You can take some in 12th grade as well, but typically right there at that 10th grade year. All right, so the difference between CTE and dual enrollment. Frank, do you want to maybe sum it up a little bit more there?
Sure. CTE are classes you take at the high school. Dual enrollment are classes you take here at the college. Both count towards your high school graduation requirements, but the CTE programs within the high school, we acknowledge those credits and award credit for that once you enroll in the related program at Eastern Florida.
Now, there are some dual enrollment classes that students take at the high school in some programs. So I guess it's very easy to get those confused for sure. The best way to know for sure if you are taking something if that is considered dual enrollment at your high school. So like the patient care assistant program, I believe is one that's offered at several different high schools. That is under the umbrella of dual enrollment, under the umbrella of Eastern Florida State College. The CTE classes are ones that you sign up for in high school that maybe you don't even realize that it could count for college credit later on. So let's say you're taking drafting classes, for example, at your high school. Those classes, if you look and see that, and make sure that you use the resources that we've put into the chat there. But if you're doing drafting classes at the high school, you may be able to, after you graduate high school and start at Eastern Florida State College, you may be able to look back at those transcripts later on after you've taken a few classes at Eastern Florida, and they may count for 1 or 2 classes. I think it's up to, up to 12 credits, up to 20 credits in some cases, where your classes could count towards your college degree. I know it gets a little bit confusing. I even get a little confused myself when I try to explain it. But in most cases, like Frank said, the CTE classes are classes you take at the high school, and the dual enrollment classes are classes you take at Eastern Florida State College. As you are taking dual enrollment classes, they're counting for both a high school and college credit. As you are taking CTE classes at your high school, they're only counting for high school credits at that time, and they don't transfer over as college credits until after you've graduated and started the program at Eastern Florida. So they will count as both places later on, but dual enrolled counts at both places while you're taking them. Maybe that's, I don't know. Any other words of wisdom that you could add to that, maybe Frank or Lynn? All right, I'm going to move on to the next question then. All right, the deadline for high school students to register for summer classes. Okay, I am going to count on my friend Connor to drop into the chat a link to the important dates for summer, dates and deadlines for summer. I don't know those off the top of my head, but I do know that there is a link on the website where you can look at the academic calendar and you can see the important deadlines and dates for summer term, and I believe fall term is also posted on there. All right, about how many days per week does the average student participate in dual enrollment? Is there bus transportation also? All right, Miss Lynn, I'm going to pass this one off to you. I'm putting you on camera, so look at your camera.
All right. So it depends upon the schedule that the student wants to take. Transportation is not provided to the college for the student unless the student is participating in the collegiate high school program. And that's one of the key benefits of students who join the collegiate high school program. Brevard Public Schools provides transportation to 10th grade students. It is guaranteed. They come over at a specific time of the day and then they're transported back to their high school. In the 11th and 12th grade, those students are responsible for their own transportation. Students who are in the regular dual enrollment program, though, are responsible for their own transportation. And they can take classes either at the beginning of the school day or at the end of the school day or in the late afternoon or evening. They're also able to take our online classes, which is a great opportunity for students. However, we encourage first-time dual enrollment students to do face-to-face classes when they start, because we feel that gives them a better introduction to college and college expectations. This past year has been tough because we have very few face-to-face classes, but I'm excited that we're going to be offering many more this summer and in the fall. So something to look forward to for your students.
Thank you very much. All right, next question is about you mentioned a student graduating with an AA degree. Can they also graduate with an AS degree? Yes, they can graduate with an AS degree. You're asking specifically for the aerospace program, and I believe that is a limited access program. So there is a specialized application process for that. So the aerospace program is not likely to be one of the ones that they could graduate with an AS degree. A lot of our computer science classes or programs, you could graduate with an AS degree there, business degree. So make sure that it's not a limited access program, but the aerospace technology, that one actually is. Another great question, are dual enrollment classes accepted at every state college? If it is a public university or college, all the credits, all the classes that we take should line up with exactly what they have. Or not exactly what they have, but they should line up with the courses. There are some cases where students, let's say they graduate with their AA degree and they want to transfer to UCF, for example. They want to do direct connect to UCF. This is a question we get a lot. Are they going to get that guaranteed acceptance like they do if they are if they are a transfer student, if they're truly a transfer student? And the answer to the easy answer to the question is yes, they are still guaranteed acceptance. But they're never guaranteed acceptance in the term they want necessarily. So fall term, for example, going into UCF, they're still going to need to meet the requirements that are necessary for a first-year student at UCF. So they're still going to need to have the high test scores. They're still going to need to have the GPA, the extracurriculars, because it is a competitive process getting into universities. But the courses that they have taken here will transfer in. It also, a lot of times in UCF or other universities, there's a specific program that they're going into, a school of business or a school of education or a school of psychology. And so the students are going to have to still meet the requirements for entering into that program as well. So it's really good for students to know what they want to do after they're done dual enrollment or after they're done with their AA degree, so that while they're planning out their classes, they're taking elective classes here that are requirements for programs they want to take there. Okay. If I'm in the Cambridge program, can I still do dual enrollment? And if I can, what benefits do I have? Lynn, I'm passing it to you again. Look at the camera.
Yes, we do have students who participate in both programs. It's challenging because the Cambridge program classes may be offered at the same time that students may want to come to Eastern Florida to take classes. What I encourage you to do is most of your high school counselors who are working with the Cambridge program are very, very conversant with dual enrollment and know how to mix and blend those classes. What we want to do is maximize the benefit that students have from both programs. So the best place to start is to have that discussion with your high school counselor and let that counselor work with you to develop the dual enrollment schedule that you want along with the Cambridge classes that you'll need.
Great, thank you, Lynn. All right, the next question I see, my daughter goes in 9th grade in August. When can she apply for dual enrollment? Okay, so in 9th grade, it's really important that she's doing, if she's able to do honors classes in 9th grade. That's going to help get her ready for the PERT test. And then if she meets the requirements for collegiate high, she may get an invitation in January of her 9th grade year to attend a collegiate high orientation information session. She may be eligible to apply at that time. Even if she doesn't get that invitation, she can still apply for dual enrollment for her 10th grade year. So typically students will do that in the summertime before their 10th grade year. So she can apply at the end of her 9th grade year or going into the summer there. All right. My son is interested in engineering, but he is going to Vieira High School, and I don't see that program available. Could he take those classes anyway? Guessing maybe you're talking about the CTE. They don't have CTE classes at Vieira High School for engineering. Does that sound right? I'm going to give you a chance.
Let me chime in here a little bit,
Yes,
Tracy.
please.
So it's important just to differentiate between a traditional calculus-based engineering program at college and what we have here at Eastern Florida is engineering technology. It's an applied degree, more hands-on, more technician focused. We do have a pre-engineering program within the AA, but that allows, you have to follow a very strict course plan, which includes heavy math, your calculus 1, 2, 3, differential equations, physics, and chemistry. And it's essentially the same 2 years that you would have to take at any of the universities if you were pursuing a 4-year engineering degree there. So it's important to differentiate what you mean by engineering technology, or a traditional design calculus-based engineering degree.
Great, thank you, Frank. Do the AA credits get accepted nationwide or just at EFSC? The best way to answer that question is to look at the school that you want to transfer to and contact someone there, tell them where you're going to school. They may want to know the syllabus information for the classes that you're taking or the accreditation of the school that you're going to here. But you know, there's no blanket yes or no answer there. Typically speaking, state college to state college or university, if it's a public university or college, most likely they're going to be under the same type of accreditation, and so the courses will likely match up with what they offer. Private institutions are a little bit different, so the best way to know for sure is to go to the website of the college that you want to go to and find out how you can figure out from there, or how they can answer best your questions of, are the classes that I'm taking at Eastern Florida going to transfer into this university? All right, what was said about having to enroll in technical training within 3 years of graduating high school? All right, I think I can do this one, Frank, but I'm going to put you on standby just in case I don't get it right. Okay, so after the student, while the student's in high school and they take the CTE classes, after they graduate, they need to, from graduation time, they need to have enrolled in an Eastern Florida program within 3 years of graduation. So if they graduate in 2021 and they have taken CTE classes that they want to get college credit for, they must, within 3 years, so 22, 23, 24, within those 3 years, they must be enrolled in a college program at Eastern Florida that lines up with those CTE classes in order for them to be counted correct. Did I get it right, Frank? Yes, okay, good. All right. What is the difference between AP honors classes at the high school versus taking classes at the college? Another great question. I'm definitely going to have you look at the 2-page comparison chart that we put in the chat. And Connor, if you'll put it in there again, so maybe it pops up to the most recent thing. That is the best way. It gives you a side-by-side comparison of every element of AP classes, ACE, IB, and dual enrollment, so you can see how it stacks up, how it compares, and the difference between them. One of the biggest differences, I think, my younger son Travis actually took Cambridge classes. He took ACE classes. I think that's Cambridge, right? He passed the class at the high school, but the end of year exam, the end of course exam, he didn't score high enough for it to count for college credit. So that is one big difference between the AP, ACE, and IB classes. They only count for college credit if you successfully pass the test at the end. So you could get an A in the class and not get a high enough score on the test. It'll count for your A in high school, but it won't transfer over to any college or university for college credit unless you get that score. So that's one of the biggest differences, I think. But please use that form or that comparison chart and check it out for yourself as well, any other differences. All right. If you cannot complete your AAAS by graduation, are CCE classes a good alternative? Any college classes that you take, college level classes that you take as a dual enrollment student are going to be beneficial to you. As long as you are ready for them and you do your best in them, they're all going to be, they're all going to count towards a college education. There's a lot of students who, you know, they don't want to do the rigor of having to, you know, finish all the dual enrollment classes before the end of their senior year. But those classes are going to be a part of your academic record, no matter how many you take. If it's 1, if it's 5, if it's 60 credit hours, it's going to be a part of your academic record that you take with you wherever you go. So they're all going to be worth it for sure. If you are not, if you want to do a CCE, I think you mean a CTE, or college credit certificate or CTC classes at your high school. Any combination of them also, like Lynn was saying, if you take an honors class, an AP class, an ACE class, and a dual enrollment class, all of those classes are potentially going to be able to be on your college transcript. Anything you want to add to that, either of you, Lynn or Frank? Lynn? Yes, no? No, okay. All right, I'm going to move on then. Let's see. So if you start dual enrollment in 10th grade, can you do 20 credits per year? Since dual enrollment is 6 credits, I think you mean Associate of Arts is 60 credits. All right, Lynn, I'm giving that one to you. So if you start dual enrollment in 10th grade, can you do 20 credits per year?
The way that is worded, I'm not sure what.
Okay, well, so I think I understand what they're asking. They want to know how many credits they can do at a time. So if you start in 10th grade, how many credits can you do 11th grade and 12th grade to get to add up to that 60 credits for the Associate of Arts degree? How does that work?
Typically, when we look at our collegiate high school, because that's a good model, a student can start off and take 2 courses in the summer, and that would be a total of 6 credits. And then as they move into the 10th grade, they take 3 more courses that fall term. 3 times 3 is 9, so they've accumulated 9 more credits. They'll take 3 more classes in the spring term, and that'll be, again, 9 more credits. So they're going to build those credits up by the year. At the end of the 3 years, when they're ready to graduate from high school, they will have reached the 20 courses that are typically required for an AA degree. Often we see students, if they do score a 3 or higher, for example, in an AP class, then they can get credit for that here at the college. And that will be one class that they don't have to take through dual enrollment that will count toward their associate degree. So those are the kinds of mixes and matches that are important to coordinate between the EFSC advisor and the high school counselor. How was that?
That was great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So again, you'll definitely want to talk to your guidance counselor about how many classes taking at a time. I know you guys are on block scheduling right now, so that may change things a little bit on how you get registered for dual enrollment classes. If that even continues on into when you're in high school, hopefully we'll be, whatever back to normal means, sometime soon. All right, so after completing dual enrollment classes, are they still allowed to use the Pell Grant for tuition? So yes, if your student is eligible for Pell, after they graduate, they won't need any financial aid until after they graduate high school. And they won't even be eligible for financial aid until after they graduate high school, because receiving that aid, one of the contingencies for receiving that aid is having a high school transcript on file. So if they qualify for the Pell Grant, it doesn't matter that they've already taken free dual enrollment classes. Whatever they qualify for each year or each semester for Pell Grant money, they'll be able to use for their tuition and books and fees and whatever else they are qualified for through the Pell. Is the program just for technical careers? Oh, well, if you're asking if the CTE program is only for technical careers, I believe the easy answer is yes. Those CTE courses that they take at the high school, and again, you want to look at the list of high schools and which academies or courses CTE classes they offer at the high schools. But in completing those classes and moving on to college later on, it doesn't disqualify them for financial aid. As long as they are enrolled in a program at the college that, or enrolled in classes that fall under the program that they are enlisted in, then their financial aid should cover the classes that they take. And finally, does financial aid become a problem in the future? They'll be coming in as a transfer, so do they lose opportunities? Okay, so I believe you are talking about when they transfer to a university. That's one of the benefits of, even if they have their AA degree when they graduate high school, and let's say they meet all the qualifications and they get in that first year fall term at UCF, for example, they can still qualify for the first year benefits. They're likely going to have to take a first year 1 credit hour class or something. It's kind of like an orientation type class for going to the university, where they may learn some things they already learned here, but they won't have to repeat the English classes they took here, or the general education classes that they took here. They won't have to repeat any of those. And becoming a transfer student, just because they already have credits, doesn't disqualify them from being eligible for aid. I think that may be all of the questions. So with that, I will thank you. I will bid you good night. Again, if you have any other questions, please reach out to Lynn or Frank, or even myself. I'll point you in the right direction if I don't know the answer to the question. I thank you all for attending, and I thank my co-presenters and question and answer people for being here tonight. And I hope you all have a great night.
Thank you.